like Katherine as a character, and I really like her look. I love sort of the curly hair and the dark clothes, and she's got definitely a little bit more dramatic makeup, which hopefully you'll be able to see in this tutorial that's coming up next. But I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments below, whether you're more of an Elena look or whether you're more a Katherine look. And if you try any of these, either of the tutorials at home, please let me know, send me a tweet pic. I'd love to sort of see your interpretation of this look. Like I said, it's an inspired look. It's not obviously the exact same, but I'm hoping to be able to sort of pull off that sort of vampire or vampire girl look. So I hope you enjoy, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the makeup, because Katherine, while she does sort of have some similarities to Elena's makeup, she definitely goes a little bit further, a little bit bolder, and has a really great, really sort of strong smoky eye. But I forgot to tell you in my last video sort of what I did for my face, so I've kept it fairly simple. I've used the Max Factor Smooth Effect Foundation in the colour Natural, and then put a little bit of Maybelline Dream Matte Powder over the top, just to sort of give a nice sort of neutral clean palette, I guess, to work on with the makeup. So jumping into Katherine's makeup, I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit more so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm working on, so this eye makeup is sort of working on a transformation from Elena to Katherine. So I'm going to start with the base of what I already had for the Elena Gilbert makeup, and if you haven't seen that, you can watch the first part of the video of the tutorial, and I'll link that in the bottom bar below. So for the majority of this tutorial, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Naked Eye palette, which looks a little bit like this. Sorry, I'm zoomed in a bit too far, but if you're in Australia, you can get this from Kit Cosmetics. So to begin with, I'm going to take a flat shader brush. This is Max 239. And I'm going to take the colour Lap Dance, which is this one right here, and I'm going to put a little bit of that on my brush and put it all over the lid. So just pat it on, pat, 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 pat. Okay, so once we've done that, this should be really on the sort of outer third. I'm going to take the other side of that flat brush and pick up the colour Satin Sheets, which is just sort of a nice kind of lightish pink colour, and put that sort of on the inner third of the eye. And then using the same side of that brush, I'm going to take a little bit of this colour, which is Pink Cheeks, which is just a slightly lighter pink colour. And I'm going to put that right on the inner corner and sort of bring it up on the inside of the eye, just to lighten it up a little bit more. After that's done, I'm going to take a fluffy kind of crease brush. This is Max 222, and I'm going to mix two colours here, the colour Unmentionables, which is like a grey colour, and the colour Like a Virgin, which is sort of a brownie colour. I'm going to just take a little bit of both of these, and I'm going to apply that to the crease. Next, I'm going to take a sort of slightly more fluffy dome brush. This is Max 224, and the colour In the Buff, which is just a really nice light sort of highlighted skin colour. And I'm going to use that as my highlight and to blend this down a bit to bring the colour down, because while Katherine does sort of have quite a smoky eye and a bit sort of darker than what Elena does, it's still kind of fairly neutral and not too sort of far up her eye. You can bring it around and use that colour to sort of clean up any bits as well. Okay, now one sort of last or smallish step for the eyeshadow, which can be left out if you want, but I think it sort of adds like a nice little bit of colour and just sort of brings the look together, is I'm going to take that same fluffy brush and the colour Star Violet from MAC, which is just like a really nice kind of deep purpley sort of bronzy metallic colour. Just take a tiny little bit of that on that brush and just use that sort of over the top of the crease to blend it out a little bit more and to give it just a little bit of colour. You can barely even notice it, but it's just quite nice. Oh, sorry, I did forget one other thing with the eyeshadow is to take a pencil brush. This is Max 219. And take those two colours again, so the Like a Virgin and Unmentionables, the brown and the grey that we used in the crease, and get a little bit of that on the pencil brush and just bring that down underneath the eyeshadow. So underneath the eyeshadow, underneath your lash line. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow. Now, while they all sort of have really nice lashes, I thought to add a little bit of, I guess, vamp to Katherine's lashes, I'm going to apply a second pair of false lashes, and these are the Glam Eyes by Manicure Accent Lashes, or the Alicia lashes. So the box looks a little bit like this, and as you can see, they're just sort of half size accent lashes. So I'm going to apply this and then I'll come right back. So once you've applied your eyelashes, now that's something obviously you can skip. You could just apply a little bit more mascara just to sort of give your eyelashes a bit more of a pop. I'm going to take the MAC 212 brush, so this flat brush here. I'm going to take a little bit more of that colour Stiletto, which is just a matte black that you can just use whichever matte black you have. That's totally fine. And take that on the tip of my brush and just use it over the top of the lash line just to sort of give it a little bit more definition and to cover up any glue or residue that you may have from when you applied your lashes. And then that's pretty much it for Katherine's eyes. Now I'm going to zoom out and we'll do the rest of the face. So Katherine keeps the rest of the face quite simple, as you probably should when you have quite a sort of smoky dark eye. But just to sort of give it a little bit more pop, I'm going to give us a little bit more blush. I'm using the Duo Effect Sculptor blush from Bijou or Bijou in the colour Rosé, I think is how you pronounce it. Sorry, my French is appalling and I apologise for that, but it just looks like this. I'm just going to take a angle brush and apply that to our cheeks. Just to give it a little bit of definition. And as for lips, again, they do sort of stay quite neutral. They're not sort of over the top super dark, but I am going to give us a little bit of lipstick to have a little bit of colour. So I'm going to use the Revlon Colour Burst lipstick in the colour Rosy Nude. So it just looks like this. It's kind of a nice sort of pinky cranberry colour. And I'm applying just a tiny little bit of this. And then over the top of that, I'm going to apply a little bit of gloss. This is the Natio Mineral Lip Gloss in the colour Willow. Just a little bit to add a little bit of shimmer. So that is it. That is the final sort of makeup look for Katherine. I hope you've enjoyed. This is a really good sort of day to night look, so you could wear the Elena look as the daytime and then sort of add a few colours, smoke it up a little bit and make it a nighttime look. So obviously Katherine, or her most sort of, I guess, crowning feature, her distinguishing feature, sorry, I'm having terrible time with words today, is her hair. So curly hair, and that is what I'm going to show you how to do next. So let's jump into it. Okay, so next up in this Katherine Pierce transformation is of course the hair. Now she's known for her curly hair. It's kind of changed a little bit. I was looking at some photos last night just to try and get sort of the right type of curl, and when she first sort of came onto the show, it was sort of very sort of big curls, almost like sort of like a big wave in her hair, and then as sort of the show went along, sometimes she had sort of more defined curls and sometimes it was sort of big, and it just kind of depended. The main sort of key was that it was sort of very big and voluminous. So I'm going to curl my hair, and I'm just going to curl it, or at least the majority of it, with my GHD hair straightener. And I've actually done a video on how to curl your hair with this, which I will put a link to that in the bottom bar below if you would like to see it, and if if you need a bit more instruction on curling this way. You could also sort of curl with something like a curling iron. You might want something a little bit thicker than this to get sort of the larger curls, the more volume that you need. We'll just go with this and we'll see how it goes. Basically, you can pretty much work with any type of curl. You can kind of brush them out, and we'll do a little bit of teasing just to get a little bit of volume. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my hair, and then I'll come back and show you how we'll sort of manipulate it. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is don't forget your good old, having a mind blank, good old heat tamer or heat protective spray. This is the Garnier Fructis Curl Control one, which I like to use when I'm curling my hair, but it is important to remember to to protect your hair, especially considering how we've straightened it today. Now we're going to curl it, so make sure to give your hair a good spray. And this one actually helps hold the curl as well, so if you know that you struggle to sort of hold curl in, this one definitely helps with that. And you can get this, I think I got mine from maybe Big W, but again, Priceline, Target, supermarkets all sort of sell this. Okay, so I'm almost done with the curls, but I just thought I would point out in terms of parting. So I had a look at some of the photos of Katherine, and she generally has her hair parted around the centre. I guess it's kind of off-centre, fairly similar to how Elena has it. So again, I'm just going to part my hair sort of in the centre, slightly off-centre to one side. If you want to part your hair sort of absolutely dead in the centre, you can do that. Or if you want to part it to one side slightly or the other side, you can part it all the way to the side if you want to. But since we're going for the Katherine look, we're going to part it kind of in the centre, slightly to the right, just because that seems to be where my hair is falling at the moment. Give it a part, and I'm just going to curl the rest of the hair, and then we'll do a little bit of teasing. Okay, so once you've sort of done the bulk of your curls, give your hair a good spray with hairspray. Do some on the top. Okay, so these curls are kind of fairly structured. First thing you want to do is sort of run your fingers through them a little bit, just to give them a little bit of separation. You could also then take a brush, this is just like a ball bristle brush, and just sort of brush through them slightly, just to give it, again, a little bit more volume and texture. And to take out some of the curl. You can always sort of recurl. If you sort of brush it out too far, don't worry, you can always sort of grab your curling iron or your straightener or whatever it is that you're using and curl it again. But the next thing I'm going to do is just tease the roots slightly, just to give it a little bit more. Sorry, I'm going to fix this curl first. Okay, just to give it a little bit more volume at the roots. So to do that, you're going to take a sort of a rat's tail comb, or just like a really tight small comb, and just separate kind of like the top layer and flip that over. You can use your clip if you want to sort of hold it to the side slightly. And then just take another section of hair. And you just want to back comb. So comb back down the hair. This is certainly optional. If you don't want to do this, you absolutely don't have to. But it'll just give you a little bit more volume. You can take a second section as well if you would like. Once you've done that, just give it a little bit of a spray, just to kind of hold that volume there. And then you can just bring that hair back over. Now you may have to find your part slightly again, but it shouldn't be too hard. And then just fiddle around with it, just kind of brushing it out and smoothing it out over the top slightly, just so you don't see any of that sort of ratty kind of bit. Just bring it back over. And then do the same for the other side. So again, you sort of separate it out. Bring this piece over. You can clip it. Okay, and then pull your hair back down. And again, just kind of smooth it out. One thing that I forgot to mention was that when you're curling your hair, to curl away from your face, because Katherine definitely sort of, her curls from what I could see are always sort of going backwards or away from your face. So just remember that. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what type of curling iron or curler that you use, but just curl away from the face. So once you have done that, give your hair sort of one last spray. You can also tease the back. Sorry, I should have said that. Just to give you a little bit of volume at the crown of your head. Just do that and just brush it back slightly just to smooth it out. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle back slightly just so you can see, but that is pretty much it. You have sort of some nice sort of loose, big voluminous curls, and they are very Katherine Pierce worthy. So I am going to move on to the last and final part of this little Katherine Pierce makeover, and that is of course the clothes. So let's jump into it. So Katherine wears a lot of dark clothes. She wears a lot of black, a lot of dark colours. And of course, just like Elena, she also wears the signature leather jacket. So this is the KRMA Crinkle leather jacket, for those of you who are wondering, which both Annear, Dobrev and Katherine Pierce both wear, both in the show and in real life. So it's just a black leather jacket. Again, you could get a faux leather jacket from so many stores that they're very in fashion at the moment, and would work just as well. It's kind of bikey inspired in a way, which is in fashion at the moment. And underneath I just have a simple kind of purple shirt. It's again keeping with the dark colour theme, and I have the jacket done up this time because I've looked at quite a few photos and Katherine generally has her leather jacket done up, so I've just done that. And then again, the jewellery is quite simple. I've just included my little silver necklace that I was wearing for Elena also, because they both share some similarities in their style. Okay, and then for the bottom half, I just have some black wash jeans or jeggings. These are from Forever New. And then I just have some sort of little black wedges, because Katherine definitely has a sort of more, I guess, almost dressed up style. When she's dressed, her clothes seem a little bit more dressy than Elena's. So I've just got some simple black wedges. These are from Ruby Shoes. So that completes my Katherine inspired look. I hope you've enjoyed, and let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye!